Do you ever find yourself in limbo, in that in-between place of knowing what you want, but it hasn't shown up yet? In this video, I'll show you how to speed up your results. So stay tuned.
Well, hi there and welcome. My name is Remy, like Do Re Mi. I'm a best-selling author and creator of the Get Unstuck Revolution. I help extraordinary women with big-ass dreams just like you who want to get unstuck from a life that doesn't work and get to where you know you need to be, into a life that's filled with passions and purpose. Now let's get started with today's episode.
Okay, let me jump off the screen here and switch to my laptop. Today, we're talking about what to do when you feel like you're in limbo, in that place of knowing what you want, but it hasn't shown up yet. There's something you're trying to create, but the universe seems to be moving at a snail's pace. And in that place of between what you want and waiting for its arrival, you often find yourself in doubts and indecision, and sometimes you can even feel defeated. As business owners, or even in our quote-unquote real jobs, in our relationships at home or at work, or even when we're trying to get a grip on our finances, we can sometimes find ourselves wondering, how can I speed things up? In this episode, we'll be talking about how our desires are crystallized instantly in the universe, the anatomy of how things actually come into physical reality, and how to begin to transform life in just 7 days. Yes, we're talking about how to find your hidden power when you want to transform challenges into successes. I like to call this the audacity of alchemy. Because when you're feeling stuck, it's never the situation that has you stuck. It's your energy that's become stuck by the trigger of negative emotions that can come from past situations or events. In other words, it isn't the pain of the situation you're in, it's the pain of not being connected in the natural energy of who you really are, of being connected to that magical part of you that's a creative vibrational being who can use positive energies to create what you want and bring it into physical manifestation. Part of this process is to allow your manifestations to materialize and not get stuck in the negative vibrations that block them. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because when you can vaporize unwanted negative energies and reduce the conflicts that steal your positive energy flow, the possibilities for crystallizing the success you crave are endless. This series has little wisdom pearls that'll help you do just that, because if you're like me, then you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks and transform challenges into success. So let's talk about this idea of transformation and the audacity of alchemy. When you have something you want to create and you want to speed up your results, when you've taken the time to get totally clear about this outcome you'd like to see, that moment you crystallize your idea, it moves into vibrational reality. But before we go too deeply into speeding up the results, let's first talk about this word, reality, and how it affects those of us that are realists. Because I have a perspective about reality that can really help you use this hidden power of transformation. Now, I don't consider myself a realist with a capital R. I'm more of an optimist. But there is a small part of me that's a pessimist, and a smaller part of me that's a realist. You may be the same way. When you're part realist, part optimist, and part pessimist, the question is, are you equally balanced, or are you mostly a realist, paying the most attention to what you can see in reality? Let's look at this idea of being an optimist and a pessimist or a realist. The larger part of me that's an optimist, well, I know there's hope. There's always hope. As an optimist, I'm always looking at possibilities and what can be created. If I leaned more toward being a pessimist or a realist, hope and possibilities might not be part of my existence. Well, by contrast, pessimist and realist can sometimes live a little too much in past experiences to be able to find hope and possibilities in the future. So I want to offer something to reignite this inner optimist that lives inside all of us, because this will very definitely help us speed up our results. Now, holding on to this thought about optimism and reality, let's go back and talk about speeding things up again, and I'll show you how this ties together. When there's something we're creating and we want to speed things up, it helps to understand the anatomy of how things get manifested, so that what we want can come to fruition and not be held back in a holding pattern, because there are really two kinds of reality, vibrational reality and physical reality. So take a minute and think about something you'd like to create, a hope and a desire that you've taken the time to get totally clear about, and think for just a minute about that thing you want to create. The moment that you crystallize this idea, it moves into vibrational reality. We might also call this the pool of possibilities. It has many names, but for now, I'm going to use the term vibrational reality. Now, like I said, there are two kinds of realities, vibrational reality and physical reality. Now, some people, especially the pessimists and the realists, say that physical reality is actual, real reality. But I like to think of physical reality as the result of what was created yesterday. Is it real? Yes. But I also like to think of physical reality as an illusion. Now, that doesn't mean that physical reality doesn't exist. It simply means that what we see in physical reality appears to mean one thing, but it's an illusion that's asking us to step out of any negative thoughts about the situation and step up to who we really are as creative, vibrational beings. I'll give you an example. I had a client, and her husband got this little puppy. And every day while they were gone to work, this little puppy would cause damage. And she was so mad all the time, so angry that this little puppy was tearing everything up. But the situation with the puppy wasn't about the puppy at all. That situation was an illusion, asking her to step up into her true self, a creative vibrational being. The situation was an illusion, asking her to bypass her anger, to bypass physical reality, and effect transformation through her positive energies. Make sense? Staying angry about what's in physical reality isn't very productive for the most part, but when you can tap into this hidden power of positive energies, the solution will usually find you very quickly. The backstory is that she had just taken an accounting job, and there was talk about her being promoted into management, and she was terrified. She'd never managed anyone before and wasn't sure she was capable. And through this situation with the puppy, she had to get her husband and the dog on the same page that an efficient solution was needed. Their apartment being torn up every day just wasn't going to work. And she also had to manage her own emotions. Now, she couldn't see it at first, but she literally created the situation with the puppy, which gave her management practice. There was a physical reality, yes, but she created it vibrationally first before it came into a physical experience because she had this desire to be able to expand at work. So what we see in the physical today is what we created yesterday. And when we created it as a thought, it instantly moved into vibrational reality because everything gets created in vibrational reality first and then comes into physical reality. So we have two realities, vibrational reality and physical reality, and vibrational reality comes first. So we've talked about the difference between being an optimist and a realist, and we've talked about how things are created vibrationally first. Now, let's get back to the idea of how can we speed up our results? Well, the first thing we have to do is put that desire into our vibrational reality. And that begins with a simple, clear thought about your desire. You know, one of my favorite authors is Wallace Wattles, who wrote The Science of Getting Rich. And one of the main ideas in his book is that thought creates reality. It's an exact science, and failure is impossible. So our thoughts create a concept of what we want to create, and when we think that thought, it instantly crystallizes in vibrational reality. But then we have to figure out, how do we get those desires to manifest into physical reality, and can we speed up the process? Well, the first thing to know is that our desires go directly into vibrational reality the moment they're conceptualized, and you might have also heard the term vibrational escrow. Coming from a background of owning real estate investments, that's one of my favorites, vibrational escrow. Means so much to me. But some people also call this the pool of possibilities, or a holding tank, or a spiritual vault. We wish we could just go into the spiritual vault and make a withdrawal at any time, but it isn't as simple as just showing up and making a withdrawal. Or maybe it is. The secret to making this withdrawal is that we aren't going to go pluck our desires out of the vault. We're going to allow our desires to come to us. Now, some people feel that we have to be in vibrational resonance with that desire in order to see it manifest into physical reality, and that's certainly effective. But it isn't always easy when we have doubts and fears, worries, confusion, indecision, impatience, and all those other negative emotions that can get in our way of our manifesting abilities. Our past experiences and our current impatience can sometimes keep us from finding that vibrational resonance. So the secret is to not try and create on top of doubts, fears, worries, and negativity. To speed up our results, the secret is to begin with a positive vibration so that our desires can come to us, so that we can receive a better than expected outcome. This is how we can unlock our hidden power. Think of it like this. Imagine two baseball fields. One field is for playing with negative energies, and the other field is for playing with positive energies. We're simply going to walk over to the field with positive energies and play there. That's what will speed up our results. We can't speed up our results if we're playing on the wrong field. Let me say that again. We can't speed up our results if we're playing on the field of negativity. Now, this was a little bit of a difficult concept for me when I first learned it. I mean, first of all, optimism and positive vibrations have always come very naturally for me, and they probably do for you too. But let's face it, sometimes negative emotions can take over. So this may take practice and discipline if we want to speed things up using positive energies, because holy cow, we may have been practicing negative emotions for a very long time. So let's break it down and take a look closer at how we can speed up our results using positive energy. And I have an exercise for you. I want you to grab a piece of paper right now and make a list of 20 positive emotions. These 20 positive emotions or 20 positive words will help us focus, because remember, what we want has already been created. It's in vibrational reality. It's in our escrow account. It's in that pool of possibilities. We're just going to connect the dots and use positive energy to bring it into physical reality. So we've made our list of 20 positive emotions, and next let's realize that a thought turns into a thing when we have strong emotions about it. A thought turns into a thing when we have strong, positive emotions about it. So let's direct the power of manifestation by directing our positive emotions. In fact, you can begin to see transformation in just 7 days when you can learn to unlock this hidden power. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that you're looking for new clients so you can boost your income. That's your desire. And some of your positive words I'll highlight for you right here on the screen: optimism, gratitude, confidence, vibrancy, enthusiasm. Now you could use these positive words and create some positive thoughts. And let's give this a try. I'm so optimistic about these new clients that I desire to have. I'm grateful for the new opportunities these clients will present. I'm confident that we'll work well together. I feel a vibrancy at the thought of these new clients. I'm enthusiastic about the results we'll get together. You get the idea. Just think of that desire you're creating, then use your 20 positive words to create 20 positive thoughts, and that's how you speed up the results, by increasing your positive vibration, by creating as many positive thoughts as you can about what you want to create. Now remember, you can begin to see transformation in just 7 days when you can learn to unlock this hidden power. I promise you, if you'll grab your thesaurus, you won't run out of positive words. Now, it may take practice and discipline, but this is how you speed things up, by creating as many positive thoughts about that desire as possible. So much so that you stop thinking about how you don't have that thing you want yet, which would only keep your situation stuck anyway. Now, let's expand on this exercise a little bit. If you're more of a feeling person, then you can write these positive thoughts on index cards and then meditate on one index card at a time as you feel the positive vibration. If you're more of a visual, you can make 20 little vision cards by gluing on magazine pictures that represent your feeling word on each card, and then write your positive thought on the front or the back of the card. If you're more auditory, then record these positive thoughts onto your smartphone and play them back throughout the day. Now, if you're an overachiever like me, you may do all of this, and that's okay, because we're looking to increase positive vibration. We're looking to increase positive vibration. Getting into these optimistic, grateful, confident, vibrant, enthusiastic energies will lead quickly into what we want kind of magical. But we have to have the audacity to find our way into that positivity any way we can and not let ourselves be shrouded in doubts and frustration and time frames. Get purely into that very natural positive energy, and the manifestation will begin to come to you quickly, very quickly. Now, here's one more little trick about this exercise, and that has to do with patience and allowing. So often, we don't stay in this positivity long enough to allow the manifestation. But life really changes when you come to understand the power of this vibrational alignment. It may take practice and discipline, I'll say it over and over, but it will become more natural. Now, some people may think this is a little bit Pollyanna, these positive thoughts, but I can say this: we can't get to where we want to be from doubts, frustration, indecision, anger. All we'll get is more situations to support those negative feelings. It's just universal law, and the universe isn't personal. It's simply responding to our vibration. That's its only job. So let's work with universal law and manifest our results a little more quickly. You know, I had a client recently tell me about losing a contract to one of her competitors and how she just couldn't seem to get over it because the relationship with her client was long-standing and respectful, and she had felt such betrayal that she found herself in therapy and told her therapist, her therapist told her, you're more in touch with how it could be than how it is. In other words, the therapist was asking her to be a realist. Her therapist told her, you're more in touch with how it could be than how it is. And as the client remembered this, she asked me, isn't that a good thing to be more in touch with how it could be? And I told her, yes, now you're getting it. This means you're in touch with and connected to vibrational reality and all the new clarity around crystallizing new experiences for yourself. That's a good thing. It means you're actively creating. The only thing missing for her was the practice and discipline of holding those positive thoughts about what she was now creating and not falling back into the betrayal of that past experience. So remember that thoughts create reality. It's an exact science, and failure is impossible. Let's keep our thoughts in a positive vibration and focus only on what we're creating, not on the frustration that it hasn't manifested yet. What's in our vibrational reality is glorious and exactly the way we've created it to be. So let's recenter, reconnect, and carry on. We can speed up the manifestation process by connecting with these positive energies. Well, I hope this helps you as you're using the powers of alchemy to transform challenges into positive new successes. But if you still can't get your head around what's got you stuck, tell me about it. You can leave a question right here, or if you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks to transform challenges into success, you can find out more about our events at successcircleworkshops.com. This is where you can learn more about the audacity of alchemy and how to unlock your hidden power. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you like what you learned today, be sure and give this video a thumbs up. You can also feel free to share this video with anyone you know who's feeling stuck. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in one of our upcoming Success Circles. You can find out more at successcircleworkshops.com.